Daniel Kraus, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am thrilled to chat with you. It's my charmed life. I get to read a book that I absolutely love, like They Threw Us Away, and then I get to talk with the author. Everything's coming up, Rob. Doing all right.
Great. Glad to help.
So, probably the most burning question that I imagine everybody wants to know is, do you have plans to write A Shape of Water 2?
Oh, what's funny, actually, I don't think I've ever been asked that question.
Really?
Yeah. I've never heard that question. Certainly I have no plans, and that would be something that would have to be planned by both Guillermo and I. My guess is no. I mean, my sense of his interest in that project is just the single movie and book, and that's it. I mean, I could conceive of something that was I can't really imagine going forward with a sequel. I could imagine something that was more of a prequel or something that sort of went into the creature, his life or times, or some other sort of story involving the creature that took place beforehand. But I obviously I have not given it much thought since I've never gotten this question.
Do you find that when you when you finish a story, and obviously that one is a special exception, it's pretty self-contained, but a prequel would be wonderful. I would love to see just a Strickland spinoff, and just follow that guy around, see what he's up to.
Yeah.
But when you finish a story, is it over for you, or do you still think about the characters and plan sequels that you never write?
That's another great question. It generally is over for me. There are a couple exceptions, but it's pretty rare. Usually, when I conceive of a story, I do a lot of planning and thinking about it before I ever start. So, if it's something like the Zebulon Finch books or the Teddy saga, they're conceived as a series from the get-go. I've never, and I won't say I never will, because it's possible, but I've never, after the fact, decided to write a sequel of something. And I think a lot of that might go back to when I was a kid reading Stephen King, and, he never wrote sequels. And there were so many, I think a lot of I was an advanced reader, but one of the things I liked about, my friends were all probably reading books for kids when I was reading Stephen King.
How old are you when you started Stephen King?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but certainly I started reading it. I was certainly reading some Stephen King in maybe 5th grade. And while a lot of youth literature seemed to have a lot of sequels and ongoing characters, one thing I came to really like about Stephen King is that he didn't do any of that. It was one story and then you're gone, and then a totally other story. And my career, intentionally or unintentionally, has followed that model of really just moving on. When I see people who are on book 12 of a series, I just can't conceive of how that is still pleasurable after all that time. I mean, I could probably, if I thought about it long enough, I could probably figure it out. But to me, I always feel like I'm racing against time to write all the different stories that I want to write, and I know I'm not gonna get them all out before I'm dead. So the idea of spending a lot of time in the same world just kind of makes me panic a little bit, because I want to keep moving.